Now, we will proceed with Chapter 14, Rising Tides. And we're on Act 3, the Twilight Flood. Seems a lot of bad things are happening in this area, in Zenith. You have the star shooting, and then we have the flood. So, let's see what we're going to figure out here. I want to learn more. Oh. Grace? Is Grace here? Good mythical morning to you too, Hex. This isn't funny, Hex. This isn't funny, Innkeeper. Tell me, is she here? Please tell me she's here. She is. I'll let her know that you're here too. Thank you. By the dragons, I was worried sick. So sick. She'll be happy to know you're safe and sound too. The flood was enormous, and if she had gotten caught up in it... Oh, no. I don't want to even begin to imagine. Then don't. How about a drink to calm your nerves? Yes, a drink sounds great. Something that would tingle my thoughts and help me focus. I'll see what I can do. Sparkling Nebula, coming right up. Maybe this will help you clear your mind. It does. At least a little bit. Thank you, Innkeeper. Good morning, Grace. Hex, good to see you're safe and well. You too. Where have you been? Are you alright? Did you get hurt? I'm fine. The Innkeeper and yesterday's superstars took good care of me. Just as you took good care of us. The least we could have done has been there for each other. How have you been, brother dear? Did you get hurt? No, but I was worried about you. The whole night locked in that damn house. All I could think about how that flood might have... Why didn't you tell me you were going to the tavern? I looked everywhere for you. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I needed your permission to go outside. That's not what I'm trying to say. Then what are you trying to say? That you could have gotten hurt, and I wouldn't have known. I don't expect a tsunami to hit Gaia every day. That wasn't in the foreseeable future, Hexy. Uncontrollable things happen, and when they do, we do our best to overcome them. Also, I can protect myself quite well. Still, how was I supposed to know that you were safe? I'm an adult, you know. You could try trusting in my capabilities. Furthermore, PSAOR was very useful, at least last semester. PSAOR? Protective sigils and other remedies. Ah. Also, the tavern itself is well protected by my own brand of sigils. That's at least something. Yes, I'm very thankful the innkeeper and his tavern kept me safe. I didn't mean to worry you. I didn't plan on being gone for so long, but then the flood happened. Okay, sure. How have you been holding up? Is the house alright? Apart from some minor damage and some leakage in the roof, I suppose it's fine. I wasn't even aware of the approaching flood until the house foundation started trembling. I was busy in my workshop harvesting the essence of Dimension 567 for my research. I hope you didn't rip a hole in the fiber of magic again. I didn't. Even if I did, you couldn't have stopped me. You weren't there after all. Right. But I can scold you now. You won't want to when you find out I actually managed to harvest something. You did? That's amazing. What a huge breakthrough. That would mean... I created a teeny tiny rift to the astral realm and got my hands on some stardust. Well, sorta. How? I got an astral shard when the stars fell. Ah, I see. There's still the issue of never knowing exactly what might come through when you open these kind of rifts. Could be anything. Or... I already won. Like creatures? For example. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, I wouldn't. Because when your sister disappears again, you wouldn't know if she got eaten by a creature or is just out for a stroll. Hex, cut it out. What? We get it, alright? I went away, you were worried. We get it. But I'm my own person and I can do what I like. I'm getting tired of this. Well, me too. Then stop. I don't want to fight. Then don't. Sorry. It's fine. We shouldn't spend our time fighting when there's so many more interesting things going on. How about a wee bit of a distraction? Oh, we could go outside and see if take samples of the floodwater. Exactly. Who knows? Maybe it'll hold spectacular and rare magical properties. That sounds lit. Maybe it'll help me finish my long-term research project. Possibly. Though to access the primordial vortex you need primordial seawater. I know. But who knows what we'll find? Don't forget to fill me in on your research. Theopractically, I'd tell you anything, but only theopractically. Would have expected anything else. Thank you, Innkeeper, for hosting me the night and all. See you soon. Okay. You're very welcome. This is like when COVID hit. We were just stuck inside. Well, maybe not close to everyone in here, but... Good morning, you two. Did you sleep well? As well, we go with the sweet sound of stormy waves pattering against our windows. So, very well with inspiring dreams. Glad to hear that. Your impromptu concert certainly helps me sleep. Because it was so boring? No, because it calmed my nerves. All of our nerves, I think. Not that I have any. You don't have any nerves? Is that a phantasm thing? No, I meant those metaphorical nerves. Oh, you get those too? No, of course not. I'm void. Well, yeah, sometimes. Mostly when I have to perform. Isn't that embarrassing? Not really. That also makes me nervous. Oh, though, I have to say, last night, performing with you for Grace and the Innkeeper, it was kind of relaxing. I could just lose myself in the performance without having to worry about what anyone would think of me. Not that I ever do, but it was nice. We should make some more music together sometime. Actually, Fable just got started on a new song. Maybe you can collaborate. Really? That would be awesome. Well, Yes, you're right. That would be awesome. I think working on it together would be fun. Beep. Yeah! Oh, sorry. Hooray! I'm looking forward to our grand collaboration. And charming you with it, Innkeeper. Alright. You're supposed to say you're also looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. That's what I thought. Are we gonna be cool together? The coolest. Too cool for me to describe. I already know we'll blow you away. I'm counting on it. Enough chit chat. I should check up on the village. Maybe someone needs a good song to cheer them up. Maybe someone needs a good song to cheer them up. I'm sure Baya would love one. I think Baya was probably cheered up by a good flood. Speaking of her, maybe you can hand out some of her spa coupons for me. Sure thing. Her spa rocks. I should start by enlightening Grace. Is she still here? No, she just left, together with Hex. Something about primordial water? Those wizards. Those wizards. I'll try to catch up to them. See you soon. Don't finish the song without me, Fable. I'll wait for you. Can I get one of those coupons? Sure you can. Just make sure you tell Baya I sent you. Of course. What a strange morning. Or exciting morning? Both, I think. Would you like a morning drink? Yes, something that will help me with my writing with my song, please. Gotcha. Ooh, Smoking Heart? I'm assuming that's what she wants, because it's not really, the other ones are very situational. What it seems like. Because they, like, balance this, the stats out. Smoking Heart. A drink with 0 primordial water. Maybe. It does taste a little primordial and very delicious. Perfect. You know, last night when I couldn't sleep, I was watching the fish swimming by the windows. Their scales kept reflecting in the water, making them shift and shimmer like they weren't there, like they almost weren't there. I was mesmerized by them. It was like a dream that kept pulling me towards the waves. It was beautiful and haunting. Do you think it looks like that every day somewhere? That beautiful? That haunting. I think any place we can imagine exists somewhere, if only in our heads. I'd like to see all of those places. I don't think they're all safe to see. Oh, Sarlin, how did they get here? If everything's flooded. Fable, by the dragons, you're here. Are you alright? I am. The innkeep kept me safe. It's good to see you both are well too. Couldn't you have let us know where you're breathing? We couldn't find you anywhere. I'm sorry. I just woke up. Were you guys worried about me? Maybe. Of course we were. Don't even know if you can swim. I can. Can you? Of course. No. Oh. We should teach you sometime. Sure. Thank you for worrying about me, but I actually had a pretty nice night. Boy and I gave Grace and the innkeeper a small concert while we were all stuck inside. Oh. Sad that we missed that. I can track down Void to give you guys an encore. That'd be nice. I'm sorry I didn't get around to picking you up. It's okay. I bet the roads were a bit busy. Yeah, it was a little tough getting out. Rufus loved it though. I think he made some new friends. Seemed like this catastrophe had some pleasant side effects. What happened anyway? Did a whale eat a moon this time? No idea what that's supposed to mean, but no. Or maybe. No idea how it happened. They say the primordial sea flooded the Twilight Chasm, and it all spilled out through its portals into Fesoa, leaving us with this mess. That's new. At least the other continents... Oh, I thought that was Fable. At least the other continents probably got through it without much trouble. For once they could be less jealous of our portals. I do hope everyone's okay. Everyone we could check on is. Luckily for us, the water's drained enough to rescue everyone around here. Though I've heard the underwater hasn't emerged yet. Happy to see you all emerged. Mostly. What does that mean? Are you still looking for someone? Yes. I was wondering if Melly is here. She wasn't home when I checked on her. No, she didn't stop by yesterday, nor today. Did you see her before that? Did she say where she'd be going? I'm afraid she hasn't been since you returned from Zophyr. The wizard punk hasn't seen her either. Took a second to ask him when he almost broke down Kumo's door looking for Grace. Do we know if she can swim? I'm sure she can, and I'm sure she's just taking shelter elsewhere. You taught her how to hide well, after all. Maybe she's just putting that to good use. When I returned yesterday, I found Rufus eating out of a strange apparatus that dispensed food and water every couple hours. Like someone really smart to set it up for him in their absence. Yes, he was gorging himself on some food, but Melly was nowhere to be found. Oh, that's worrying. Did she leave a note? No. I'm sure she's okay. Maybe ask Una. She probably put her up to something. I shall investigate the avenue. Right now. Fable, would you be okay with moving our time? Time? You got an appointment or something? More like a date. Can't wait for that story. I'll tell you later. But yes, we should move it. This isn't the kind of dancing in the rain I was hoping for. Me neither. Another time then? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Me too. I hope she doesn't try to investigate the fish. They eat her alive. Sounds a little more hopeful. Girl's savvy. I mean, look at that contraption she left behind. Ain't no fish got a chance against her. Being hopeful isn't really my thing. Then make it your thing. I'll let you know when I find her. I hope she's okay. Because nothing, like, we had these catastrophic events, but like no one from the main cast that we've seen or encountered have gotten hurt. So I'm just worried. Such a man of few words. A man of words. He's just worried. Uh-huh. Speaking of worries and words, Lynn, it's finally good to see you back. How was the escorting? I hope you didn't get too wet? It happened. How did it happen? Well, actually, this can wait a bit, right? Yeah, I can wait. Thanks for understanding. I'll be back later, once I can think more clearly. I'd like to check up on Uncle Dragon. Make sure that old fart is still up and running. Fable, I'm guessing you'd like to check in with your family too? Yes, I would love to make sure everyone's alright. Maybe Melly's with the Amaranthian Hydra. She really wanted to ask for tea recommendations. I'm counting on you returning with a good story. Don't get too excited. I'll see if I can drag Rhea and Fancy Pants along as well. Then they could use a drink. Speaking of which, got one for the road? Sure thing. Let me trying to get you through all that socializing? You got it. I'm glad that they're okay though, for the most part. Of what we're aware of. Oh, I need to write down the recipe. Charisma? $7. Here, the strongest thing I can prep for you. Thanks. Miss these drinks. A little. Oh, that's sweet. Don't dwell on it. Anyway, Fable, let's go. I'll be right there. I'm sure everybody will be okay, Innkeeper, so don't you worry about it. And make sure to keep a hot chocolate warm for Melly. I'm sure she'd love one of those. I'll give it my best. I know you will. Don't swim out too far. We'll see. I wonder how they're navigating. The waters are dangerous these days. Just what are you up to? Time to make sure I have enough ingredients for a hot chocolate around, I guess. What does that mean? Do we know who's doing this? Oh, hey, Una. Good to see that you're open, Innkeep. And a good evening to you too, Una. Huh, spare me the babbling. Though I'm glad to see you to be unharmed. I am, thanks to some protective spells I put on the inn a while back. Works better than any insurance. What about you? Are you unharmed? I'm good as new. Might be missing an arm, but that doesn't mean I forgot how to swim. It's easier than walking, actually. And breathing in water instead of air was unexpectedly nice. These skills aren't just for decorative purposes. It's a little bit like home, you know? But the water tastes different than that of the astral sea. More primordial, I might even say. Yeah, I figured. You don't seem to be very worried about it. Nah, whatever happens is none of my business now. I'm retired. And water also doesn't bother me. Shouldn't bother you too much either. Am I right? Since you're so close to. I knew you wouldn't forget. I might be old, but I'm not senile. Me neither. Well, you wouldn't call the primordial sea your home then? I haven't had it in a few planes already. My past doesn't define the word home for me anymore. But you're right. Primordial water doesn't do any harm to me. Even if I wanted to drown in it, I wouldn't be able to. But honestly, I was more worried about my patrons in the inn itself. I hope everyone is safe and well. Wouldn't worry too much about all your regulars. Adventurers are tough folk, and your drink toughened them up even further. I have faith that you're right. But your tavern? Well, let's just say it definitely seen some better days. Nah, that's kind of an understatement. It looks like shit. Ouch. I've been working the whole day to clean up as much as I can. My condolences. Say, have you ever tried talking to the Wizard of Morlia? No, sadly I haven't had the pleasure. Oh, you should if you get the chance. He's also always loved some kind of spells and enchantments. More the kind involving trickery, like puzzles and traps, but I'm sure he also knows a protective spell or two. I mean, he's been protecting this wizard tower for quite some time now. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind if I ever get to meet him. But I suppose you're not here just to talk. How about a drink? Huh, you definitely have a way with a customer service. How about a drink that'll make my own muscles wake up, so I can help you tidy up your tavern afterwards? I can't quite remember having asked for help. Ah, what's that? My old ears suddenly can't understand what you're saying. How unfortunate. Maybe a strong drink would help. Alright, coming right up. And she wants Tavern Brawler. Southern Brawler. I don't know why I keep thinking of Tavern Brawler. Maybe I'm just thinking of like the D&D feat. Oh, do you think we should play Baldur's Gate? This is making me want to play Baldur's Gate. There you go. A drink powerful like the astral sea. Wonderful. I consumed enough primordial water to last me weeks. And? It doesn't taste exactly like home, but the hint of elemental magic revives some old memories. I gotta say, you definitely know your craft. Thank you. Could I maybe convince you to just relax and let me do my work? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Forget it. Let's clean this messy tavern. If you insist. Before I forget, all that water swept some animal remains into my pockets. Don't really know where they come from, and I don't feel any kind of astral energy coming from them. So I assume they're either Gaian or primordial. And before I stabbed myself with them while cleaning, I wanted to check if you had any use of them. Stab? Yeah, they're surprisingly sharp. Now I'm curious. Let me see. Ha! You're so easy. Infusion unlocked. Saber Fang. Haste. These Saber Fang tips are from special fangs of the colossal saber-toothed tigers for the Babylon Valley. They lose them bi-yearly and regrow them at remarkable speeds. Thank you, Una. They might not be primordial, but I think I know what to do with them. Gotta spice up some drinks? Maybe. Can't wait to try them then. And now let's spice up this old rustic tavern. We learned more about Una. One of the things is younger folks had more harbingers, global calamity couldn't shake her. Maybe that's just the astral sea mentality. She also never got involved in helping or figuring out what happened. Absolutely not, because she's retired. Duh. And now let's spice up this old rusty tavern. Okay, well, I'm glad she's okay too. Distract and run. Welcome back to my tavern, brave adventurers. Good to see you're all unharmed and doing... Oh no. Well? At least we didn't drown. By the way, who's that granny on your porch? Looks like she's collecting driftwood. Don't mind her. She's an old friend of mine with some weird habits. She wanted to help tidy up my tavern after the flood. It's kinda nice, actually. I suppose so. I couldn't convince her to let me do it alone. Did the flood hit you as well? You bet. I had to hold on for Rhea for a quick second there, or else she would have been swept away like a twig. How'd you wash it? I don't know what that was, but I'll just read it how I see it. We had passed Themis, then it just happened. Luckily, there were 2 carriages nearby, wedged between sturdy trees and a large boulder. We managed to pull ourselves out of the raging waters and into these carriages. Thank the dragons. It could have gone south real quick. And your tavern looks a wee bit wet as well. It is. I've been working non-stop to clean it up. That's not good. Working non-stop? Comes with being self-employed, I get. No, I mean the flood. Never heard of a flood that massive. It spread all the way from Themis to Zenith. You're right. We certainly aren't that close to the sea. Themis maybe, but now you're in. It's all still very recent. We'll have to wait until we know the true extent of it. But what about your mission? Did you complete it? Did you complete it before the flood started? Oh no, did we lose someone? Come to think of it, Archie, you've been awfully quiet today. It's very unlike the noble hero I know. Give him a break, would you? We had some pretty rough nights. Oh, did something go wrong? The drink you prepared for us with those golden feathers? I remember. I mean, it did what it was supposed to. But it wasn't enough. Don't know if another potion could have changed your fate, though. What happened? Oh no. Did I mess up? I guess I'm telling the story then. Let's begin. We actually would have been well prepared if this had been a normal escorting mission, that is. It all started just like a regular quest. We met our client in this temporary abode, which looked like it was worth more than money than Sarah and I will ever make in our lives combined. Correct. Anyways, our client's name was Theodore Hugo Frederick Sinclair III, to be exact. He told us politely not to call him by his full name, so we agreed on Theodore. He's the noble son of some wealthy diplomat, hence the long name. I figured. And you had to get him to Diria because of some financial conflicts between them and the mainland. Correct. At first, everything went surprisingly well. Since the magical bridge got destroyed, we had to get to the Diria by ship. Because of the dispute, no ships from the mainland are allowed to dock in Amasa, so we had to take the long way. From the port of the Windmoor and the Windy Meadows to the Twin Borough, and then to Amasa by foot. All with a young nobleman that rarely strays from home. The kid had some quirks and mannerisms neither of us were familiar with. Luckily, Archie here was able to help us out. I tend to be a little wary around rich people, but we actually got along quite well. Especially little Archie here was hanging on his every word. We didn't take the main road to avoid too much unwanted attention. Moving quickly through the Darien tundra was only encountering a few obstacles like tree trunks. Rhea and I kept the path clear while Archie entertained our client. He was quite useful after all, even though it was his first quest. He definitely knew how to tell stories and kept us entertained. Theodore loved every tale Archie told. Yeah, seems like you're a natural born storyteller. You also have a surprising amount of knowledge about plants and stuff in that orange head of yours. I'm glad I could be of help. Theo rarely went outside, so I assisted him with my knowledge of plants that sting or those with poison. That's a very helpful skill. Everything went as planned until the sun started setting. I think my ears picked it up first. They were like a bunch of low humming sounds, far away still, but definitely unusual. I didn't hear anything, but I always trust the fluffy ears of a Vukakin over me and my own. I asked the two boys if those types of sounds were common around here, but they both denied it. That's when I started getting the weird feeling in my guts. Every experienced adventurer develops that sooner or later. It's like a sixth sense to keep you out of trouble. Oh, I've heard of that. Never experienced it though. I knew something was wrong, and that if we didn't get out of there, our situation would only get worse. At first, I just told Rhea. Didn't want to alarm the two boys. Your clients should never be afraid. That's just bad customer service. Agreed. So we quietly tried to figure out what to do. But then I could also faintly hear the deep sounds. But if I could hear them, Archie and Theodore could as well. And they also heard us talking. That's unfortunate. We agreed on positioning the two boys between us, even though Archie proclaimed he could fight as well. A simple but efficient lineup. Me at the back of the line, Sarah in the front because she got the best ears. Theodore was still calm. He said something along the lines, of course they tried to start an assault. That's why I hired you, remember? He's not wrong. I just would have expected more, you know, the regular kind of assassin. Whatever that might be. If you let me continue, you'd get it. Sorry, my bad. To make things worse, it got real dark real quick. And we could hear the guttural grunting all around us. She said the bog and craft. Where are they? Where are they coming from? But, well... At first I could only see one, then two. And suddenly they were everywhere. Zombies! We were surrounded by zombies! I had to think fast. There weren't any gaps in their formation, so I knew we had to fight. Thanks to those enchanted feathers in our drink, I was able to quickly overpower two zombies, smashing their heads together. You're strong. I like strong women. I pushed both boys forward so they get moving. I knew if we wanted to get out of there in one piece, we needed to stay together. Sarah was blocking attacks left and right, slicing through rotten skin and brittle bones with her greatsword. She was a sight to behold. My sword lent me its power to fight us through, but I would have needed more time to figure out a plan. There was just so many of them. I knew we had to get back to the main road. The terrain so deep in the forest was very uneven and made running away from a horde of the undead even more difficult. How did so many of them even get there? At least it was apparent why all those animals had dispersed on the road. They got eaten by the undead. And we'd be next if we didn't get the out of there. So they ran. But turns out a nobleman's clothes are made for running. They're made for nothing except looking obnoxious. They're not even that comfortable. I was more prepared than Theo, but even some of my seams ripped. I could hear Reyes behind us. I could hear Rhea behind us telling us to hurry up unless we wanted to die. So I wrapped my hand around Theo's velvet-coated wrists and just didn't let go. There was no way I would let anyone die on my first mission. But then, right before we got to the main road, he tripped. I suppose it was bound to happen. Rhea had somehow outrun us and was already stumbling onto the main road ahead. I tried to pull Theo up on his feet, but his pants got gotten caught in some thorns. And he couldn't just get up. I tried to get him free. I really tried, but my hands were just so sweaty and shaky. I saw the zombies. I saw their rotten faces as they came closer and closer. I was too far ahead to realize that what was going on. When I finally noticed, it was too late. I knew getting to the road was our main priority. But when I got there and the two boys were missing, I knew something must have gone wrong. I turned around, and right as I did, I saw Archie and Theodore on the ground. A bunch of zombies getting real close to them. I warded off the first two, maybe three, but there was just so many of them. And Theo screamed, the most horrifying scream with pain and agony I've I read about this sort of scream before, but I didn't think it would sound so heartbreaking. Yes. That's when Ray and Sarah suddenly appeared next to us again. They pushed the zombies back and helped Theo get up. Well, as much as he could with that was left of his left leg. I know I had to come up with a plan. There were too many zombies for us to fight, and running away could have been difficult since Theodore was hurt. But your drink was driving me forward. Kind of like a drinkable Lucky Charm. I've already tricked the Chimera into giving me its saliva, so I should have been able to handle the few undead and the hurt client with ease. You tricked the Chimera? Sure did. You truly are full of wonders. And since we're fighting also wasn't a possibility this time, I thought, maybe I could outsmart the undead. Theo was hurt, and he also wasn't looking too good. I think either way, either situation, they could have fought, but Sarah Lynn would have been overwhelmed. I think even with the power of the dragon god, there's no way that she would be fighting a horde of the undead. I think so anyways. Because everyone else didn't get buffs. The undead seemed to be drawn to the smell of his fresh blood. And thanks to her drink, I was still quite hasty. I knew I could outrun any dead. So on a whim, I turned back to the other three. Rhea was trying to fight back dozens of monsters while Archie supported Theodore. I grabbed a piece of bloody cloth that had been ripped off of Theodore's leg. I didn't know if they listened or if it was just a snub they drew to them to me, but I yelled, "I'm here. Come and get your fresh piece of meat." I thought she gone crazy, I tell you. But it was a smart move. I definitely had their attention. Archie was out of it, so I told Rhea to just follow the path to Amasa and treat Theodore as quickly as possible. I would then catch up to them as soon as I was done there. And that's what we did. I don't argue with women that are taller and faster than me. Her quick thinking probably saved our Good call, both of you. I led those brain-dead monsters in the opposite direction. Turns out I could easily outrun them. But I wanted to get rid of them once and for all, or else we would have been safe for long. And as soon as I spotted the cliff between the trees with nothing but the vast sea further on, I knew what to do. I knew I had to override my instincts, so it was kind of dangerous. I yelled one more time, "Come and get me if you can!" And then I threw the piece of cloth off the cliff. My instincts kicked in, wanting to play fetch. Luckily, my will was stronger than the monsters. One after another, they tried to catch me in the blood-drenched fabric and jumped, falling to their, well, awfully final deaths. I can't believe that actually worked. Me neither, but otherwise I wouldn't be standing here. I'm glad. Seems like the undead are kind of like a pack of animals, at least for the most part. A few of them didn't take the bait, but nothing my greatsword couldn't fix. I followed Rhea and the boys' track until we meet up again. We could easily see the light of Amasa in the distance. But we haven't been fast enough. With every step, Theo's hand grasping my shoulder was getting weaker and weaker. I didn't even dare look at his face while I talked to him to keep him awake. Even when his answers started getting sparse and quiet. But you made it, right? Oh no. Right? No. He didn't make it. Damn. Tell me that's not true. I wish it wasn't. But I never lied about someone's death. Especially not his. I'm so sorry, Archie. I didn't know the mission would be so dangerous. It's not your fault, Innkeep. It's none of our faults either. Maybe I should have prepared a different drink for you. It's alright. We did our best. Things don't go always as planned. I guess life isn't as magically perfect as the numerous tales I've read would suggest. Bad things can happen to anyone, even to those with the purest of hearts. Some may deserve it, but most don't. I just wish it would have been him. It's such a selfish thought, but I can't get it out of my head. And that's fine. It's just not fair. Why him? I apologize. I didn't mean to raise my voice like that. It's alright, kid. We know how the pain you feel. You know some deaths are inevitable. Illness, old age, whatever it might be. Those are easier to stomach even if they hurt. That's true. And then there are deaths which are completely unexpected. Those don't feel fair to us. They make us think, if I only did this, if only I said that, and so forth. But you mustn't dwell on those feelings. It's okay to mourn, but you can't change the past. The only thing you can change is the future. Live the life your friend would have wanted for you. Make him proud. I suppose you're right. What did you do then? Did you still go to the Masa? We did, yes. He must have died just before we arrived. Someone from the Night Watch recognized him. We were immediately surrounded by healers, but it was already too late. You may bring bodies back from the dead, but not souls. After we explained the situation and how I got rid of the zombies, they offered for us to stay the night. We needed some rest before making our way back to the next morning. I also sent a letter to Theo's family. I wanted to. After all, I've known them since I was a child and I was with them in the last moments. If someone was going to deliver the bad news, it needed to be me. I'm not sure I could have acted so calm and collected. I really wasn't. Also, I don't know if this is perhaps too macrobe, but would you hold on to something for me? Of course. What is it? It's the quill that I used to write the letter to Theo's parents. I must have lost my supplies somewhere on the way to Diria, so I had to buy a new quill. First, I thought of it as a nice memento, but the wound is still too fresh. I'll hold on to it, as long as you need me to. Thank you, Innkeeper. Gosh, there's so much. Just, what's going on to happen with the dispute between Diria and the mainland now? Now that the ambassador has died on Durian soil. It's just such a big mess. And we didn't fix anything. We just made things worse. Anyway, I'm just so terribly tired. Please excuse me. Good night, everyone. You want to sleep here tonight? Sometimes a little company can do wonders. You'll be safe from any potential floods. We'll also be sleeping here. I suppose you're right. Maybe I'll occupy one of your rooms then, dear Innkeeper. Of course. Go on upstairs. Third door on the left. Make yourself at home. I think I'll just sleep. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't want him having to deal with it alone, you know, because like, yeah, I mean, he's given a space to be alone, but like he's still surrounded by people, you know, just to talk to. Because he was very bright. Now he's just, oh god, that's so sad. I wonder if things could have been different. I hope he'll be alright. Let the kid grieve. I guess asking if either of you like a drink would be like an incentive at this point. Don't. Got it. Instead, Sarah, let's talk about your extraordinary fighting skills. Gotta say, I was really impressed with how you decimated those zombies. Takes a good beast slayer to know one. Oh yeah, she is a beast slayer. Nah, I'm more of a general fighting type, you know? I can always appreciate two strong hands. And such a well-crafted greatsword on top of that. Happy to see you appreciate solid craftsmanship. It was a gift from my baba. She told me that the great dragons themselves gifted it to her, but I don't know if that's true. Have you ever heard of the great axe of Ur? The most powerful weapon ever, forged by the origins of the world themselves? You bet. You think it really exists? I mean, my baba loved to tell stories. But if her sword was made by the dragons, maybe Ur's great axe is more than just a myth. Dwarves have their own origin in the subterranean caves, you know, on the plane of Ur. I grew up in a labyrinth of caves surrounded by gems and ores, legends and tales. I mean, I haven't seen it with my own two eyes yet, but I'm convinced the legendary weapon exists. I bet it's so large I probably wouldn't even recognize it was an axe. I've heard of Ur keeps it in a resting place at all times. Yeah, though so far no one has found that yet. And hopefully no one ever has to. What do you mean? You know the tale, if someone was to wake up Ur up, the apocalypse would begin. Oh gosh, this is like Ragnarok. But that's just an old tale, right? Something you tell kids that don't want to eat their food. You know, eat up or Ur will awaken. Questionable parenting techniques, if you ask me. Yeah, I get to hear that a few times when I was still a wee bairn. All those tales ever did was make me want to craft a legendary weapon myself. Have you ever made something like it? Not yet, but I will soon. I'll make the greatest weapon ever forged and smash the old heart's blacksmithing competition to bits. I'll craft my ex-husband with ease. That ex-husband? Yeah, we used to work together now. He claims that I wouldn't stand a chance without him, but I'll prove him wrong. Anyways, Inkeep, Sarah, I think it's getting quite late and it's been an exhausting week. Absolutely agreed. Let's get some rest. And then look for another quest elsewhere to afford new crafting materials. Good night, you two. I didn't even realize it was nighttime. Good night, Lynn. Night, Inkeep. Oh gosh, that was a lot to unpack. Holy moly. I didn't think that we would like hear or see about death, like a mission going wrong, but I guess it did this time. Holy moly. It seems like the flood has cleared from the whole thing, so maybe now we can understand more. But that will be all for this chapter. I hope you guys are enjoying this part so far of the series. I'm really enjoying this. The storytelling is amazing. The characters are amazing. The character arcs are definitely enjoyable to watch, and getting to witness them grow as characters as a whole. I mean, that's probably the magic of D&D if you ever played it. It's still, like, I'm still new to the scene, but it's just like, this goes in depth of what you could create possibly. You know, combat, a very combat heavy campaign, or a very heavy roleplay campaign. More storytelling. Or a bit of mix of the two, you know. But yeah, that'll be it. Next time, guys, we'll continue with chapter 15, Riptide, next time on Tavern Talk. I appreciate everyone sticking by on the series. Again, if you do happen to like the episodes of Tavern Talk, leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully to see more. Goodbye.